guys, this is my second video on living with fibromyalgia. As I said before, I've had fibromyalgia for 13 years. My journey first started when I had some kind of virus. I felt just like the worst flu I've ever had, nauseous, achy, low-grade fever. I had to crawl to even go to the bathroom. My energy was zero. I felt just like I'd been run over by a truck, kind of just that all over aching, cramping, just couldn't relax feeling. But at the same time, I was sleeping 22 hours a day. Whatever this virus was, it lasted for 4 months. I had been virally ill before, but this was like none I had ever felt before. My doctor ran some tests during this virus, and he said that I definitely have had Epstein-Barr virus in my life. He wasn't sure if it was currently what was active or not. That I've had parvovirus, which I thought was a animal virus, and found out is actually a human virus also. And he didn't know what my current virus was necessarily, but, just kind of said, oh, everything looks fine, your blood looks fine. I said, it's like, doctor, I took everything I could to even get here, to even get dressed and show up here. Took every ounce of energy I have. And I tried to explain to him that I am a type A brain. At the time, was a single mom. I was always on the go. Super mom. I could do anything. I didn't need sleep. I could go. I worked a full-time job. I commuted to and from work. I was a single parent for many years. My daughters were involved in many activities, required getting them to and from places several nights a week after I got home from work. And I, on a regular basis, was up till midnight, 1, 2 in the morning doing laundry or whatever had to be done. If there was anything that needed doing, I was awake doing it because there was no one else. I felt it was all on my shoulders to handle. I wasn't into asking for help. So it was my responsibility to take care of everything. And I had a few people tell me, you need to slow down. You need to rest once in a while. And I was like, I'm fine. There's no big deal. I can handle it. And I've been going at that rate for years. So to come down with an illness where I could barely move and was crawling to go to the bathroom, and the times when we needed groceries, I couldn't go to the grocery store. I didn't have any energy. But my girls weren't old enough to drive, so I would drive them to the grocery store, and I would park right by the front door, and I would make them go in, and I want to say they were, 10 and 13 at the time. I'd give them money and say, go buy milk and eggs and bread and peanut butter and jelly, and that's it, and come back. And I would rest my head over the steering wheel while they were inside. And luckily it was only a few minutes from home, and so we'd go back home, and that was kind of my existence during those 4 months. And, to have a doctor tell you, oh, it's just a little virus, you're going to be fine, it's nothing. When you're saying, no, doc, this is going on for months, it's something. And eventually the virus seemed to subside a little, but the pain didn't stop. The pain was everywhere in my joints, in my muscles. I had IBS. I had, just a constant all over aching, not feeling good, just fatigue like nothing I'd ever felt. And so began the journey of my fibromyalgia. My understanding of fibromyalgia is that a lot of people that get it are actually type A brain overachievers that don't get enough rest. And people that get it virally, that's usually the case. There are people who get it from trauma, like a head trauma or a surgical trauma. My understanding is there are people that get it from toxicities. I understand even Gulf War syndrome is very similar. I'm not positive how Gulf War syndrome happened, but I believe it's their inoculations. They all received mass inoculations before they were shipped out. Again, it's probably a toxic poisoning of some kind. Again, it doesn't matter how you got it. There are many different ways, but once you get it, it seems to be, you're stuck with it. Here I am 13 years later. I have a very positive attitude. My limbs hurt like hell, and I thank God every day I have limbs. because no matter what, it could be worse. But it's still hard. It's still, at times, you feel like you got hit by that truck or ran over by a rhinoceros. I mean, just, you feel like your entire body is bruised. Sometimes your joints feel like they're going to explode. Headaches, I can't even tell you how many headaches I've had, migraines I've had, how often I've had headaches. I have learned some things that help, but I've definitely got cut back on my headaches. But there's such a myriad of symptoms. There's probably a list of 300 symptoms, honestly, that can go with fibromyalgia and or chronic fatigue syndrome. The biggest difference between chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia is chronic fatigue syndrome has more pain, has more fatigue, and fibromyalgia, dominant is pain. I was diagnosed with both. Current day, I'd say I have fibromyalgia for sure. I have more pain than fatigue now. I've learned how to manage the fatigue better. However, regardless of what hidden illness you're diagnosed with, what chronic pain you have, they're all hard to live with, hard to get anyone to really understand unless it's someone else who goes through the same thing. And so I just want to offer some encouragement, some support, a little information on what I've learned over the years, what has helped me, what hasn't helped, and then just encouragement for keeping a good attitude. I think attitude is key. I have fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia does not have me. I won't let it define me. Granted, it's 24/7. It's part of my daily life. There's always some level of pain. Even when it's at its lowest, you always have some level of pain. It's your new normal. But there's still joy out there. There's still happiness to be found. There are still things happening in research, things happening in health, alternative medicines that can definitely help. I know it's not fun feeling like a human pincushion and sometimes, being the guinea pig, but there is progress being made, and there's also a lot of people looking into root causes and diving deeper. And lately that's been my goal, is to have my root causes looked at further, to find a doctor who can truly look at the whole picture, not just give me a Band-Aid, another prescription. I've had my share of prescriptions. I still take some prescriptions. I also have several nutritional supplements. I've got the IBS almost completely under control. Headaches, only a few a month now, rather than 5 a week. I've had a lot of success, and there's still a long way to go. And again, I'm at 13 years. But I want to encourage you. There are good days and bad. But hopefully we can get to a point where we have more good days. And just try to keep a positive attitude. I know it's hard. But there is good out there. And there are few and far between people who do understand. If you're not in a support group, join a support group, even if it's online. There's several fibromyalgia groups on Facebook, on the web. Just sharing what you go through with others who understand can sometimes just validate what you're feeling and what you're going through. So I can list a couple of the fibromyalgia groups I'm familiar with at the bottom of this vlog. And like I said, if you don't belong to one, join one. It's very comforting knowing others are going through what you go through. I know you feel like crap. But again, it could be worse. Try to look on the bright side. Some people aren't going to like to hear that. Some people want to wallow in their, why me? It hurts so bad. I'm miserable. This sucks. True, it sucks. But, like I said, it could be worse. So, that's my attitude anyways. My limbs don't work great, but they work. I still have them. I can still walk. Some days it doesn't feel like it much. Some days the body doesn't cooperate. But I still can. So, it's better than having no limbs. So, anyway, God bless each one of you. And I'll be back soon to share some more information. Join a support group if you haven't already. And take care. Bye-bye.